Hello, my name's Emmanuel. um, I'm a spiritual practitioner, um, mainly making use of the writings of Emanuel Swedenborg and Bhaktivinoda Thakur from the Vaishnava or Hare Krishna tradition, and also making use of the writings of Ken Wilber um, in terms of the integral network, and um, and what we're looking at today, which is the spiritual emergence network. Um, so this is just something from my personal experience and how I've sort of understood or employed techniques to help deal with the psychosis or spiritual emergence experiences on the spiritual path. Um, so this is a book that's available from the spiritual emergence people, called Spiritual Emergency. Generally, um, it's considered spiritual emergence if you're kind of still able to do your normal activities, and emergency if those things fall away um, during those experiences. Um, um, the book's got like kind of different types of um, spiritual emergency that can happen. Um, just to give an example, um, you've got um, let's see, shamanic crisis, um, awakening of Kundalini, psychological renewal through return to a center, unit of consciousness or peak experiences, psychic opening, past life experiences, communication with spirit guides and channeling, near-death experiences, UFOs, possession states. There's all different types of content that can come up in a spiritual emergence experience. So um, I just thought that I could maybe provide some support for other people who are engaged in a spiritual practice or looking at, at doing some kind of spiritual path. I'm mainly looking at bhakti or God in the personal form, and but I'll be making more videos about all that kind of stuff. Um, but yeah, so that's the types of spiritual emergence, and you have looking at kind of the causes and things to take into account, obviously like stress and stuff like that. And from the Kundalini yoga people, or Yogi Bhajan, he said that it can be caused by a kind of disconnection between your ground level and your upper spiritual levels, a kind of disconnection in there. Um, and and I think one of the things that can help with it is to join, to make sure that if you're doing a spiritual practice, that you spend quite a lot of time also integrating into other aspects of um, of your life, such as if you're doing meditation for a long time, um, to also take some time to contemplate things like your work, um, your relationships, just duties, other things that you have to do in your life, is to bring things out into the natural level, and also to keep keep in contact with people and make sure that you're maintaining good relationships with people and taking advice from people around you, always staying open to advice and things like that. As Ken Wilber says, like with meditation, there's a tendency towards narcissism in there, which is becoming too internalized, and focusing on other people will bring you out of that more, and also on what he calls the it, um, which is in the quadrants. Um, where is it? Basically, you've got the four quadrants, which is got I up here, and then um, we. Oh no, I don't know. Yeah, and yeah. Um, I can show you my quadrants. So here, this is one that I've done. So here you have I, and then you've got we, and then it. So a lot of meditation is all up in here, in the I, or if you're doing personal meditation, it's kind of in here. And but focusing on other people and also your external environment, anything out here which will ground you and stuff. Um, if you, yeah, this is all from the integral work of Ken Wilber. You've got the four quadrants. Basically, um, states going up here, and then, yeah, I kind of need the other one to show you, but if you look at Ken Wilber and the quadrants, that's definitely worth taking a look at, and like, yeah. Um, so, yeah, so there's a spiritual mind-body connection. What I was mainly sort of showing is sort of an example of how I've interpreted um, um, the spiritual emergence experiences, um, just as a kind of showing you how I've dealt with it, um, which is generally like looking at writing down everything that's happened in the experience. So whatever kind of content it is, um, writing it all out, sort of like you would a dream or something. Um, and so you write down all the content of what's happened, and then try and interpret it, or understand what I kind of figured out that there was sort of like a three different aspects to it. There's the transpersonal content, or the what's coming from a higher source, and then there's a conscious level to it, which is sort of like, say, a particular question or something that you were asking at that time, or something that you were consciously trying to figure out. And then there's the lower chakra content or whatever, which is more like a psychological kind of interpretation, um, and how those things all relate into the one experience. Um, um, which, for an example, with me, like say I had one on creation or something, which was a lot of taking on archetypes, acting out, being archetypes like Krishna and Brahma, and other people were Shiva and Brahma and stuff like that, and then looking at sort of what you learned from that experience, like say what I learned about creation or the creation of the universe within that particular pantheon that I was looking at it within, um, and then looking at also other psychological sort of content as to um, which would be like things involved in your personal life. Maybe maybe it has relevance to the people who were involved within that trip, or other things that brought it about. So it's a lot like if you write down your dreams and you analyze your dreams. So yeah, it's very similar to that, and psychedelic experiences as well. Um, so yeah, I made a much longer version of this video, but I couldn't upload it, so I'm just doing the just giving a short one. Um, um, yeah, so I hope that was some kind of use. I mean, the main thing is you've got the spiritual emergence network that exists. If you've experienced psychosis and you're doing a spiritual practice, you might want to check out the spiritual emergence network, and they can provide support um, within this sort of understanding of things. Um, and also looking at Ken Wilber's work on like psychology, and he's got a book called Integral Psychology, and yeah. So I'm going to be making more videos on um, like meditation practice, things that can help like that. Maybe some guided meditations and stuff, or just different things that I've come up with, or experimenting with, and generally I'm just here as a kind of internet sangha, you could say. So so yeah, I hope this has been some kind of help, and I'm going to be making more videos. So yeah, um, stay tuned, and have a good day.